So Sean Diddy Combs just sold all his shares in Revolt TV to an anonymous buyer. Puffy has now officially separated his co-founded Revolt TV. This was the last major brand attached to Diddy. Sean John was removed from retail stores. And he also no longer owns Ciroc or De Leon spirits. Man, this story is so crazy. So I think he actually sold Revolt a few weeks ago when some of the initial allegations came out. Because you had the Cassie allegation, then she settled. But then when these other allegations came out, that's when he sold his share of Revolt. And I thought the board basically said to him, hey, man, we don't want to be attached to this. It's bad PR for our company. It's probably best that we just part ways. But it seems like this dude is planning his getaway. I think on TMZ, I think they said that Revolt is still black owned. And remember, like last year, that Tyler Perry and Byron Allen were trying to buy BET. I think Puffy was trying to buy it too, I think. I don't want Tyler Perry owning BET. I don't want him buying Revolt. Revolt is a decent station. Like, I actually like the early years of Revolt because they, it's the same. They still play a lot of videos, but they still have the world shows, but they had a dance show. They had a club show that I really liked, and they kind of took the dance show away. But they had some good programming on there. They always had the Revolt Conference, which was an idea of Andre Harrell's, who's now dead, mysteriously, which was I never understood Andre Harrell's death, or Kim Porter's death, or Heavy D's death. But that's a different story. But yeah, I don't want Tyler owning Revolt. I don't want to see I don't want to see video, and then a series of Medea movies and the Oval and music videos, and then I gotta see the have and have-nots and the Browns. I don't want Tyler Perry anywhere near Revolt. Byron Allen. He also owns the Weather Channel, and it seems like he's been pretty hands off. So Byron Allen, I don't know if he did or not, but if he was the person who bought Revolt, I would just leave whoever is in charge, and maybe tweak it so he can make more money, and just be hands off. The one of the things that Puff did say a few years ago, he said owning a network, TV network is the hardest thing he's ever done as far as like owning different properties, because cable TV. I mean, you're talking about trying to get advertisers. You try to get on different cable providers like Spectrum and all this stuff. Like it's owning a cable station is not easy. That's why Oprah sold OWN. Well, for many of you don't know, Oprah sold all his shares of OWN, so she is not there anymore as a founder because it's hard. That when I look at what Bob Johnson did with BET, it's just like it's amazing. Just because that is a tough industry. And as far as like Ciroc, yeah, I knew they were detached a long time ago. And Sean John, he had Sean John, he sold Sean John, and then he bought it back a few years ago on pennies on the dollar. But now that's gone too. This whole thing is so crazy. I did not have any of these things on my bingo card. In fact, the whole thing about the plane flying off from Florida and arriving in Antigua and no one was on it but cargo sounds like a Bad Boy video from 1998. This sounds like a Bad Boy video from 1998. But I made a video a few weeks ago about Puff, and I just said, there's just a dark cloud around this dude. Like, me and him are roughly the same age. And so I seen this guy, like, we were both in, we were both in college when he first started off at Uptown Records. So it's amazing, like, while I'm studying to get my degree, this dude went from intern to VP at Uptown, to starting Bad Boy, and he just kept on going, which was amazing to watch. But then you have all these stories. Like I already talked about Kim and Heavy D and Andre, but then there's the celebrity basketball game when he was like still like an intern, I think, at Uptown, and he oversold the tickets at this. It was supposed to be a celebrity basketball game at a high school, and unfortunately, people were trampled because they oversold the tickets. But he never really got in trouble for that. He kind of paid that off. Mace left Bad Boy in disgust. He became a pastor because he was so disgusted by it. Shine did 10 years for allegedly shooting that woman in the face, even though that woman said that Puff was the one that actually shot her. It's just, and then the sexual allegations that surrounding him. It's not good, man. These things are not good. But I guess if you're him, it's almost like a mobster mentality that he adapted over a while. When you keep on doing these things and nothing bad happens to you, it's like John Gotti. John Gotti did a lot of horrible things, but he was never caught until they got him on those wiretaps. Because I think, because he kept on going to trial and paying people off. And he's like, I'm John Gotti. And then they finally got him. And I think Puff is the same way. He kept on doing these things. Even when he went to court with the shooting, like nothing happened. Even when he hit Steve Stout over the head, allegedly, with the champagne bottle over the Nas video, nothing really happened. I mean, I think he went to anger management classes and things like that. Nothing. He's never really paid for anything that he's done. I really do think if he had to pay for it, when those people got trampled at that basketball game, he actually had to go to jail for this for a little while. I think he would have learned. But from that point on, he was just almost like, well, I'm Puff. I can do whatever I want. And then people were talking, but no one really believed him. So now he's on the run. That's the question. Like, where is he? It seems like, listen, Puffy did not get this far in life being a dumb man. So he knew allegedly how horrible he's been. And so he's been probably plotting whatever he's been doing for a long time. So that whole thing about the plane had to be a diversion. But wherever he ends up, let's say he dances his way out of this situation again, allegedly. I'm telling you, dude, even if you go to a place where there's no extradition, you can't be doing this stuff in some of these other countries, man, because some of these countries don't play. They don't play, man. You talk about cats doing street justice here. Some of these places, man, they use machetes. If you mess with the wrong folks, they stone people. They shoot people live on video if you go to the wrong spot, mess with the wrong person, or mess with somebody's kid, or try some weird stuff. And we're not even talking about the prisons. In our country, first of all, we got way too many prisons in our country. But in our country, Louisiana prisons are horrible. All those southern prisons are horrible. Texas prisons are horrible, just horrible. Rikers is horrible. But man, if you go to some of these like Russian jails, prisons horrible. Some of these Asian countries prisons, jails horrible. I'm not sure about the Caribbean, but I'm sure they're horrible too. So I'm just telling you, man, if you're able to skate all these charges and go to someplace else where you can't get extradited, you gotta stop. Because if you start doing that and you mess with the wrong people, man, and then they'll really put you in some type of jail, man, where it's like it's not going to be good. This story might end even worse for him if he doesn't. Man, because he's going to feel like, man, like I got out of here. I beat the charges again. I'm in a new country. My money's all set up. But I'm telling you, man, don't do what you did here. Because this ending might be far worse than even you could imagine.